Clicked on it, but it didn't go. There we go. Now we're up. Hey, okay. We're Bonnie and Greg Dixon, and here we're talking to Denise Ropp of Integrated Wellness.
Hey, everybody. Nice to see you. Nice to see you guys, too.
So, Denise, I met you on the other day online and was so intrigued. You are the founder of Owning You. You're a health and well-being consultant at the White Cedar Clinic over on Vancouver Island. And today we wanted to do a little deeper dive on helping people understand what is integrated health. What does that mean?
Well, integrated health, it's one of those things that I think we're going to see a lot more of, and we're going to see a lot more of that in our physicians' offices, in our doctors' offices, and other offices, healthcare offices. Each person, if you were to think of each person as a padlock, so remember back to high school where you had the lock on your locker, and it would go, you'd turn it so many places to the right, and then you'd turn it back, and you have to go all the way around, and then back to the left, and then to the right again, right? And so each one of us is pretty much like that. We've all got our own personal combination of health tools, health and wellness tools that we can put into place to be able to create what gives us the best experience of our life on any given day. And so what that could mean for most of us, basics like a good night's sleep, a good healthy diet, definitely, and a good mindset. Those are, and some level of movement. So those are kind of the basics. But what is it for, say, Bonnie, for you? Do you need to have a naturopath or an acupuncturist or a massage therapist? Or do you need to have an active practice of yoga or exercises? Or is there someone that can actually participate in your health that actually adds to your health in a way that is bigger than for somebody else? And I see this every day in our clinic. One of the things that we have here is medical cannabis. We have access to assessments and education in medical cannabis. But medical cannabis doesn't work for everybody. Neither does acupuncture or gabapentin, for that matter. It just doesn't work for everybody. So what is it? What's the combination of things that works for you? So some people, it is different kinds of things. I'll give you a quick example. I had a lady call up here. She'd come in for the medical cannabis. And then she went, it's not really what I want. So what else do you guys have at the clinic? And I was saying, okay, well, we have yoga, we've got meditation, we've got kinesiology, counseling, all that kind of stuff. What else do you think we might do? And she's, yoga, I do yoga every day. So maybe that's what I need. So I'll sign up for some yoga. And I went, here's the clue. If you've been doing yoga every day and it's not been working, that's probably not what you need. You need to have something else that is going to come in and help you. And so really what you need to do is look at some other solutions. So she actually, we talked a little bit more, found out what her real goals were, what her real problems were, and realized that maybe the kinesiologist, somebody to help her build a balanced, aligned core that was going to be able to move and do the things that she wanted to do, which was hiking and biking and traveling around, and obviously doing a little bit better on that yoga that she's got. So she actually decided to go to the kinesiologist. And after about 10 weeks of working with the kinesiologist, she walked out of here. Her legs were perfectly aligned. She had a lot more strength. She was a lot happier. And she just was living the best life that she could. So that's an example of what integrated health means. So
in other words, you have your clinic, because you have different modalities of healing. you're from a different perspective from the mountaintop when some comes in and they don't even know what they don't know. They don't even know some of the types of healing that you do, and that you actually expose them to what is offered and see if it aligns with what you help them align themselves, literally.
Exactly, exactly. And if we don't have it here, but I recognize it as something that might be helpful for them, then I don't have a physiotherapist here, but I may send them to a physiotherapist. I may send them to an osteopath or somebody of some other modality. They may actually be better fit for somebody else not in this clinic. And I'm happy to make sure that they find that individual.
Mm-hmm. What would you think is the number one thing people, I mean, there's many things, but the number one thing that people come into your clinic for?
So there's really three things, I think. The top one I'm going to say is chronic pain. So aching knees, aching hips, lower back, those kinds of things. Sleep issues, huge problem in sleep issues. So lots of people have insomnia of some sort of at some sort of level, and that can be because of various things. It could be because of the pain. It could be because of hormones. It could be because of some sort of anxiety or PTSD or something along those lines. And lots of times it's a bit of a combination of those things. But then, of course, then the mental health side of things. So the PTSD, we do see a lot of veterans or people who have been in severe car accidents and just had bad incidences within their lives, and that's part of what they come in with.
Mm-hmm. And would you say that the majority of patients are women or men or a combination of both?
It's a pretty good combination. I'm going to say though that it's maybe a little bit more on the women's side, because for whatever reason, men sort of wait, and I'm looking at you, Greg, sort of wait a little bit until it gets too unbearable before they make those steps. And so it would really be helpful for a lot of the women in the world if their men would actually take that step and move forward just a little bit to take ownership for their own health in that way.
So, is there a pill for that, or is there some sort of technique?
Yeah, we don't like that. No, there's no pill for that.
So, how young of a patient would your clinic be able to take?
We've actually had patients as young as 7. And the majority of our patients typically are 45 plus. Our oldest patient is 102.
Wow.
I know. They're just people. It's people who are seeking just how can they make their life better. They're actually curious about what is it that I can do. How can I do something different to give me the best life possible. And that's our goal, is really to find those people.
Yeah. And so, in speaking of that, can you share with us a few simple ways to create wellness in our everyday lives?
You betcha. So some real easy, simple things that are don't cost anything. So our bodies, number one, our bodies are made to move. So whether that means getting up and going for a walk or stretching first thing in the morning, doing yoga, doing some sort of gentle stuff just to get you moving in the morning, that is a big one. Just get out and get moving. Put the shoes on and get going. And do not let the pain of after exercise, like I've heard this a lot, where people will say, well, if I go and do that, I'm going to be in pain. Well, there's a fine balance where you actually have to strengthen your muscles, and that does mean stretching your muscles, and that can mean that they're going to feel a little tight or they're going to feel a little pain. So that would be number one. Get out, get moving, just get something happening, whether that means walking the block, walking around the block, walking 11 kilometers, whatever it happens to be. So number one, get out and get moving. Number two, water. Drinking water. We are mostly water, and the way that we actually cleanse our body is to actually drink water. We have to cleanse our body through our kidneys. So we have to put water in to put water out so that we have good functioning body. That drinking of the water will help a lot of that pain from your exercise go away. So, and how much water? If you can start with 1.5 liters a day, then you're doing well. Up to the way to tell, I'm going to get real personal here, but the way to tell whether you got enough water or not, if your pee is still yellow, you can still drink some more water. That's a good way to know whether or not you're drinking too much. If it's clear, then you're drinking quite enough water. The other thing is really to have a good mindset, a mindset that provides yourself with good self-care, and a mindset that helps you connect with others. So how are you connecting with your family? How are you connecting with your spouse or your partner or with friends? And so that social connection, it's really been challenged over the past 1.5 years, is really, really important. How are you doing that? How are you maintaining it? How are you building those social connections? Those are 3 main tips: movement, water, and that mindset.
Oh, that's wonderful. Those 3 alone. That's very valuable to just to know, to remind ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
I want to circle back to water. Um, I've heard different things from different places. We know vegetables are a lot of water. Watermelon is a fruit that's just full of water, and some I've heard different controversies. Some people say, well, if you eat lots of fruits and vegetables, you don't have to drink like pure water. What am I trying to say? That the coffee isn't counted as water, or juice isn't counted as water, or milk isn't counted as water. What is your 2 cents on that,
My
Denise?
2 cents goes to that other point that I talked about, was if your pee is yellow, then you can drink some more. If it's
Got it.
not, then you're drinking enough water.
What a simple, easy thing to remember.
That way we don't get into any of that controversy too, because I am recognizing that those things do contain a lot of water,
Mhm.
and as does coffee and tea. But if your pee is not clear,
Mhm.
then drink some more water.
There you go. Um, Another trick for myself for drinking water, I love water, but my mother disliked water, is I have, I love hot water and I love cold water, and I like it at different times of the day. And I just put a little squeeze of lemon in it, and it just gives it this brightness that plain water doesn't always have, you
Yeah, I
know.
know. I know. I like some of that. Sometimes I'll do the hot water with the lemon in the morning.
Yeah,
It's really
yeah.
nice. Really
And
nice.
my other favorite water was at a spa, and I always call it spa water. Sliced lemon, lime, and oranges, and a cucumber.
Mm,
And you put it in a
nice.
big pitcher of water, and oh my goodness, is that water lovely? The
It
cucumber,
is. It's so refreshing, right? It's just totally refreshing.
especially
Mm.
with this heat we've been having.
Oh yeah,
Now,
totally.
Denise, what I understand about the White Cedar Clinic and yourself, you have some online offerings so people can take advantage of learning more about themselves and learning different modalities of healing. Tell us a little bit about what you have to offer online.
Well, first off, I would say 95% of our services can be done online. So, our cannabis clinic offered throughout Canada online. We have a physician. So, if you don't have a family physician and you'd like one, you can go to our telemedicine area and sign up for a physician. And so, get your prescriptions renewed wherever you happen to be. If you want to do things like the yoga or the mindfulness or the kinesiology, we can do all of those online as well. One of our most progressive programs really comes down to the Owning You program. And the Owning You program is an intensive, it's an intensive 12-week program where we actually measure a bunch of biometrics for you before and after. So we get results. we get results in your whole overall health and wellness, and we can prove that to you. So as you can see there on the screen, the before and after, there's some really big differences. So whether it's your blood glucose level or your weight or your triglycerides or even your overall wellness scores, we can definitely make some really significant differences there between what was before and what was after. And ultimately, what we're trying to do is, some people, if they're still working, this kind of program can help them become more productive, more in tune with what's going on with themselves. It can be just a situation where they feel much better so that they can get things done, respond to more people. But all along, we're actually showing them the results. So you're getting definite results for your health, for your wellness. And ultimately, that's going to create some real big ripple effects along that social line where you're getting an improvement in the relationships that you have with the people that you hang out with, which is really important. I alluded to that a few minutes ago about that social connection being so necessary and so fulfilling for our well-being.
Mm-hmm. It's a very, very comprehensive program. It's just fascinating. And I love that you could be anywhere in Canada and have access to this very, very, I mean, look at all the things, cholesterol, blood pressure, daily function. And you just brought something to my attention. I jumped in my car, ran over to the store this morning. Sometimes we take longer drives. We do more walking. We walk to the store most of the time, but sometimes I go there. But we have our cars tuned up. We take our computers to get tuned up. For heaven's sakes, what's the most important thing about us? Our bodies, for heaven's sakes. To have a tune-up on our body. Wellness versus sickness. Sometimes when we go to the typical traditional doctor, we're going in because we're sick. In your case, and White Cedar, we're going in to be well, and a literally wellness program. And I think when people start to dynamically shift that in their head, that, do I want to be sick or do I want to be well? Where do I want to put my energy?
So that was really my goal when I started in healthcare some 35 years ago, where I was really wondering, do we really have to get sick in the first place? Is that really something that we are programmed to do? And for the majority of us, we actually have a lot more control over our level of health and wellness than what we believe we do. And I know here that everybody at this clinic honestly believes that you have more control over your health and wellness than you let yourself believe. And we can definitely help you and support you in that particular mission, in getting you to the health and wellness level you want to participate in. That's what we believe, 150%.
Well, that is just wonderful news for anyone that's listening today or watching this later on. I highly encourage you to check out the White Cedar Clinic, talk to Denise, and fully utilize all that you have at the tips of your fingers to stay well, stay healthy, especially what we've just been through for a year and a half. We cannot take anything for granted. And, to stay extra healthy may be that little tiny thing that can prevent you from getting something that's out there.
Exactly. Health is the new wealth. That's 100% true.
Yeah, health is the new wealth.
Health is the new wealth. And we just want to thank you, Denise. Share with us the best way to get a hold of you at the White Cedar Clinic.
The best ways, some of the easiest and most traditional. So you can give me a call at 250-941-4999. You can go to my website, whitecedarclinic.com, and go to the contact page and you'll get a hold of us. And this, for a lot of our programs, the Owning You program actually can go worldwide. So I'm not concerned about where somebody happens to be on the planet. We can get them into that intensive program if they want to. So please just give us a call. And if nothing else, we can definitely help you out, get you maybe thinking about what that combination of right tools is for you.
Well, that's just wonderful. Thank you so much for coming on to Storyvan TV. And our healthy, wealthy campers are going to be so happy to meet you and learn what you do. And actually the option, we all want options in life. And when we are open, when we keep our minds open, is when the magic happens. It truly is amazing. Our bodies are really amazing to begin with. And then when we have those right, as you said, kind of that formula, that magic recipe for ourselves, and then we can just feel amazing.
Exactly. Your combination is what will give you the ultimate life that you want. So it's really about that curiosity, I think is the word, where just be curious about what the possibilities might be to creating that, and what works for, like, your partner. What works for Greg probably doesn't work for Bonnie, and vice versa. So
I will say though we're in our 60s going on 16. That's our goal.
Yeah.
You're doing a great job. I love how you're living life. I really do.
Thank you, Denise. And again, thank you for coming on the show. And we look forward to staying connected with you.
Thank you so much.